With YouTube demonetizing independent media, please consider becoming a patron today for just $1 per month. Link below. Hey, what's going on, everyone? My name is Matt Jarbo, and I normally hate Polygon like a lot, right? Like a lot. I just not a fan, but I have to give them credit here because they are actually tackling a subject that I feel needs to be tackled, and that is the YouTube burnout. And we're hearing about this more and more. People are finally talking about it more and more. And that's good. That's great. That's grand. It needs to happen. Now, this is a long article. I'm not going to go through the whole thing, just some tidbits here and there. But it says here, YouTube's top creators are burning out and breaking down en masse. One person here saying, this is all I've ever wanted. Why am I so unhappy? And that is something that I entirely can understand and relate to. This is a job. This is a career that I am thankful to have. But when I describe to people my day-to-day operations, they look at me very weird because they're like, how? Like, just how does it happen? How is it you end up working so many hours? And a lot of it is just not what you see that's happening right now with me recording, but it's the before and the after. Especially when you deal with the YouTube algorithm, which we will definitely touch upon in this article. Now, it says 3 weeks ago, Bobby Burns, a YouTuber with just under 1 million subs, sat down on a rock in Central Park to talk about a recent mental health episode. 1 week ago, Elle Mills, a creator with more than 1.2 million subs, uploaded a video that included vulnerable footage during a breakdown. 6 days ago, Ruben Elrubius Gunderson, the third most popular YouTuber in the world with just under 30 million subs, turned on his camera to talk to his viewers about the fear of an impending breakdown and his decision to take a break from YouTube. Now, there are people out there that will look at this and go, how the hell is a guy with 30 million subs even remotely feeling the pressure? This dude has got to be rolling in the dough, rolling in the grain. Doesn't need, could take time off and he's fine. And you know what? He probably could a lot more than a few of us, right? But that's the whole thing. Is it still a grind? It's still a job. There's no one, when you go to work for somebody else, there's a set schedule, right? You come and you clock in at 9 in the morning, you clock out at 5, you have your lunch somewhere in the middle, you have tasks that you do. There's a certain type of job that you do and you do it. Right? Because you hear people say it too. YouTube's not a real job. Oh, it is. It so is. Not every job is the same though, right? Is it the same kind of job as flipping burgers at McDonald's? 100% no, right? But it's still a job. It's still a career. Thankfully, there are many of them out there. Entertainment is something people like. But there's still no guiding force. There's no one telling you what to do or how to do it. And that can have an impact. Believe me, it can have an impact. Now, Burns, Mills, and Gunderson aren't alone. Eric Merck Music Phillips, 4 million subs, Benjamin Craner Vestergaard, 2.7 million subs, and other top YouTubers have either announced brief hiatuses from the platform or discussed their own struggles with burnout in the past month. Everyone from PewDiePie to Jake Paul have dealt with burnout. Lately, however, it seems that more of YouTube's top creators are coming forward with their mental health problems. And the really shitty thing here is, guys, they're not the only ones, but because they're now the ones talking about it, it's going to become a bigger thing. Right? It's like the Adpocalypse last year, right? There was a time period on YouTube where you couldn't talk about money. Not one bit. You brought it up, you was a shill. But then the big dogs started getting hit. And then they started talking about it. And then it became okay to talk about. And that's fine. These things happen. They take time to get there. But at least people are talking about it now. They're talking about the whole situation now. And it says here that constant changes to the platform's algorithms, unhealthy obsessions with remaining relevant in a rapidly growing field, and social media pressures are making it almost impossible for top creators to continue creating at a pace both the platform and the audience want, and that can have a detrimental effect on the very ecosystem they belong to. And that is 100% truth right there. I have to give credit, again, to Polygon for talking about this, because that's true. One of the things I've spent the last year doing is trying to understand the algorithm, because I bought a house and I had a kid on the way, and my girlfriend was leaving a very, very high paying job so we could move to the damn woods and start a family because I was doing well on here. And then that all changed and everything changed. And then I felt this need, this desire, this burning rage to figure it out, which does not do anything for your mental health, by the way. It doesn't do anything for your mental health. And there were days, man, I drive by this lake, right? I drive by this lake, and it's a beautiful lake. It's one of my favorite views. I love where I live because I'm near this lake, but I drive by it. And in the middle of the summer last year, so we're coming up like a little about a year ago, every time I drove by it, man, all I could think about was just swimming out there and like never coming back. I was having those thoughts. But I couldn't really talk about it. Because part of this game is being that type of person, right? Like you put on an attitude. You put on a persona. They say the you in YouTube is meant to be you, but ultimately people end up not being you, right? Like it's one of the reasons why I'm going back to being audio only is because I feel like that is more me. I don't need to sit there in front of a camera and put on a certain type of shirt, make sure my hair is fucking done, that I shaved. You know, I can be more expressive like this. I feel more expressive like this because I don't feel like there's a camera judging me. Right? Like there's all these things, and it's like, I was in counseling by the end of the year. I've barely slept in 6 months. That has a lot to do with the child, but also because of the way things are. I run 2 channels full time. And had I not decided a little over a year ago, to do $3 Theater, I would be so screwed right now. So freaking screwed. Because that's the truth of it. That's the truth. I've lost 1 million views in the month of May. I usually get about 2 million views a month. I've lost 1 million views. YouTube's algorithms are just they're throttling my channel. I've got $3 Theater with 1/8 the subscriber count. Not even kidding you. 1/8 the subscriber count gets less views. I make more money on that channel. More money than a channel with 160,000 subscribers that puts out the same amount of content. That is where things are right now. That is how they are responding. They demonetized my Roseanne video where I just talked about how like there could have been a lesson there. There could have been a bridging of the gap, a way to cross the divide. Confirmed from manual review, meaning the ads are going to be shit. That's where we are. And so while I look at these people and these people with millions of subscribers that do this day in and day out, there are people who've got 10,000 subs, fewer than 10,000 subs who put out daily content that are feeling the burn. They're feeling it because they don't know if they're going to be able to succeed in something that they want to succeed in. And that is where things are right now. And I know YouTube is stuck between a rock and a hard place in terms of everything that's gone down. And I know that they're trying. I feel like they're trying, but the communication, the lack of communication, the algorithm changes without expressing that information to us, leaving us hanging in the fucking wind. So what happens? What do you see? What you see people cannibalize each other. What's been going on for the past 6 fucking months? Nothing but cannibalization. Right? That's what we've seen. Just nothing but cannibalization. And I predicted this a year ago. I called this a fucking year ago. Interestingly enough, to the person who ended up becoming one of the biggest ones. I thought that was fascinating. But that's where we are. People want drama, they want conflict, they want reality television, they want fucking internet blood sports. Because that is ultimately where YouTube has started pushing us. And you talk about burnout. The people that are here listed so far, they don't deal with this kind of crap, but they deal with their own kind of crap that we don't deal with. But in certain areas, in certain places, this is where things are. It's crazy. It's just crazy. But then you have to ask yourself, what is YouTube going to do about it? Well, what's YouTube going to do about the burnout, right? Well, it says here, YouTubers make most of their money from AdSense on YouTube and projects or merchandise related to YouTube. Okay. We've also seen recently that the people who don't advertise the right products are now finding their channels being taken down. We're seeing this. We're seeing certain types of channels being absolutely decimated with AdSense, completely demonetized, or channels that are just losing their monetization because of the wrong type of thing that they talk about, because YouTube's afraid of the advertisers. And I get why. It's a platform people can upload free to. I get that. But when they basically tell you that you can make a career out of this and then start to pull the rug out from underneath you without giving you any heads up over that shit, the burnout really sets in. Now, it says this creates a pressure to upload video every single day. I upload roughly 6. So it shows you how obsessed and addicted I am to the whole process. To see consistent reach and maintain their positions as top creators among a sea of growing competition, creators have to effectively game the system, which is true. It's why they're pushing you to live streaming. But when you have 20 people live streaming at the same time, your attention can only go so many places. And when each of those streams ends up being around, 1 to 5 hours, you have literally no way of playing catch up. And so the pressure from the YouTuber or the streamer to produce the content ends up really just amounting to nothing, because you end up finding audience going like, well, I don't want to watch these 4-hour streams. I don't know where the good parts are. I don't know where the bad parts are. Fuck it. I'm going to watch cat videos. Or God forbid, Keemstar. You know what I mean? Like, it's just that kind of crap. Now, so this is where the algorithm grade comes in. The algorithm grade is the best working theory YouTubers work under when it comes to ensuring their videos are seen by as many people as possible. There are a bunch of little tricks that make up the algorithm grade, such as videos should be 10 minutes or longer, which is very true. But one of the most important details is frequency. It is strongly believed that YouTube accounts with more than 10,000 subs should post daily because YouTube's algorithms favor frequency and engagement. And that is true. It's one of the reasons why dislikes mean nothing, by the way. I always like to say that to people. They never seem to understand. But anyway, it is part of it. Like this engagement. They want engagement. But lately they've been throttling so many people. They're not sending out notifications. That's a big one right now. And that's really angering a lot of people because it's you rely on that system. Now, have we become essentially slaves to the system YouTube created? Yeah, we have. There's no other way around it. We're playing in their sandbox. We've built our livelihoods, our careers around the sandbox. And then when they come in and they clean the whole thing out, we're not prepared for it. And that is a problem. Don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to be like, oh, woe is me. This is my career. I've chosen it. There's going to be ups. There's going to be downs. Not every day is Christmas, but there are struggles. Both emotionally, mentally, monetarily. In some cases, physically, depending on the situation. I'm just saying there's a lot that goes into this. So people upload and upload and upload and upload, building a bigger fan base and working nonstop. And then the consequences of that hustle hit them like a ton of bricks. Yeah, that's so true. Relevancy is a word that keeps almost every YouTuber on the tip of their toes, but it's not only a source of strain. There's also the growing demonetization concerns running rampant throughout the community. Posting infrequently means a creator's videos won't be recommended. Videos that aren't recommended aren't as heavily watched. The last problem a creator wants to worry about is their video not appearing or being shared because of frequency issues when already trying to skirt around YouTube's growing advertising restrictions, which is true. There's so many people that are on this platform, 1.5 million monthly active users, 1.5 million. Sorry, billion people. I don't know why I said million. 1.5 billion people. That's a B, baby. That's a lot of people. Advertisers aren't afraid of their stuff running on this, but they want to get the better deal, which is they're right, I guess, as a business, but this is where we find ourselves. And YouTube is so deathly afraid of standing up to them and going like, well, this is where the eyeballs are. So you really should maybe look at that from the perspective of like shutting your damn mouth and playing ball, you bastards. So it says here that it's really frustrating to be a creator on YouTube because we really don't know what's going on. This is PewDiePie. I think YouTube is so scared of telling people what's going on for media outrage and for people abusing the system, so they generally don't keep us in the loop. And this is the top creator on the platform who's like, I got no idea what's going on. He's got more connections with YouTube than anyone else probably. He probably's got Susan Wojcicki on damn speed dial if he needs to. But he doesn't know what's going on. None of us do. And that's part of the problem. That's where the worry and the anxiety and the animosity comes from. Like, for example, just to give you an example. People say live stream, right? Live stream on this channel. I should live stream more. Sure. I post that live stream, though, and you don't watch it because it's 3 hours long and you don't want to spend 3 hours, and I get that. but I upload little videos because you didn't watch the longer video, YouTube thinks that that video failed, and then they won't recommend the smaller videos as much. So you're kind of screwed any way you look at it. So people need whole channels dedicated to different things. That's why you find YouTubers with like 1,800 channels, because this is how things are. And then they have that problem, and they, and then again, it's just how many people are going to subscribe and how many people are going to watch. It's this real weird thing. Now, not knowing how YouTube's monetization system works while also battling fears of videos being suppressed and less frequent uploads hindering their careers are major anxieties. And like most anxieties that go untreated, they build up to a breaking point, which again is 100% true. The issue that, unlike many of us who have bosses or coworkers who tell us to take time off, no one is telling YouTubers to chill out. It's the opposite. People are constantly asked for more. There's only so much that one person can offer. YouTube offers no clear support for a system of creators, nor is it clear if the company has offered professional help to some of its top creators who've made their burnout public. No, they haven't, and they don't care, because there's always another person. You know what I mean? Like that's the shittiest thing about it. We don't matter to them. We matter to you, which is the best part. Don't get me wrong, but we don't matter to them, because if one of us falls, there's someone else there to pick up the rifle and keep soldiering on, right? YouTube's only direct reaction is a playlist dedicated to burnout mental health. The creators are essentially working until they no longer physically can and apologizing to their fans after believing they failed. Polygon has reached out to YouTube, and they're waiting to get back more. And the only way to beat burnout is take breaks. Unfortunately, for many YouTubers, those breaks are rarely planned. Yeah, I haven't taken a vacation in 2 years ago. I went on a cruise. VidCon is kind of a vacation. A lot of fun. VidCon this year is going to be a vacation, but I'm also doing the VidCon Industry Pass to go and learn. Guess what I'm going to go learn? I'm going to go learn about the algorithm. I'm going to go learn about where YouTube's at right now. I'm spending a shitload of money to go and learn how to do my job better, so I can better reach you guys, and then also tell my friends who are in the same boat I am how to do their jobs better, so we can remain quote unquote relevant. This is where we find ourselves. And I understand this probably comes across as bitching, and there will be people out there that will use things I've said here against me to either stipulate that this is not a job, or that this is just a shitty endeavor, or all I care about is the money, blah, 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 blah. It doesn't, like, here's the thing. This is a career. This is a job. This is something that I love to do. I'm very thankful to do it. In no way will I ever be not thankful. Those of you who've listened to this far, you've no idea how many times you guys, just by watching, have made my day and have made this one of the best careers you can have. But there is that dark side. There is a very dark side to it. We saw this earlier this year when the woman went to YouTube headquarters because of the monetization. She only had a couple, she wasn't a top creator. I'm not trying to discredit her at all in terms of her contribution to the website, what she was trying to do. But that anger, that frustration, that animosity, that manifested itself in a very violent act. And that was the one thing none of us wanted. It was the one thing all of us feared when we heard that noise. We heard that news coming out of YouTube. And we know now that it's impacting a lot of people. People like PewDiePie, who made $12 million a year, he can take a break. I don't make $12 million a year, right? Like I make enough to get by and to be comfortable and take care of my family, and I'm very thankful for that. But I mean, like it's not much more than take covering shit, to make sure everything's covered. And that's more than a lot of people. And so I'm not trying to be like, woe is me here. A lot of people out there don't have that. And so that's something but I have to maintain it. I have to constantly work to maintain it. And that can cause the burnout. And so, yeah, I might come across a bit arrogant or whatever, but a lot of it's just based on really being tired, and also frustrated. And so the last thing any of us want to do is take our anger, frustration out on you guys, because it's not your fault. But we also deal with people who try to delegitimize us at every step. We deal with people who do horrible, terrible things to us as a way just to, for a joke. As I've talked about this before, people have, printed out my Twitter avatar, ejaculated on it, taken, a picture of it, sent it back to me. Somebody else pointed a gun at my Twitter avatar, took a picture of that, sent that to me. These are things that we deal with, that we don't really talk about very often. We don't make a big spectacle over. I've gotten legit death threats. There are people out there who have taken photos of my kid I've put on social media, and tried to, use it against me and whatever. There are some really, really evil people that operate in this space, and they like to troll you, and the key is not to let them, but it's hard sometimes. And again, this is a very small number of people, and most everyone is cool and chill as shit. But this is what we deal with. Now, the people like PewDiePie and Bobby Burns and Elle Mills and Elrubius, these guys have way larger subs than I do, and I guarantee they deal with way larger stuff. Right? They get it a lot more frequently, and then as a result, a lot of people stop tuning in. They stop paying attention to social media. They stop engaging with the fans, because they just don't want to deal with it. That's a big part of it. They just don't want to deal with it. And that's, again, where we kind of find ourselves right now. So if you've made it this far, I have been rambling on, I appreciate that. And my recommendation would be, if you follow anyone on YouTube and you catch wind of them talking about burnout, or they're just tired, send them words of encouragement. Because that goes a long way. And, people out there, they do this as their job. They love it. They want to continue doing it. But the way the algorithm works ultimately makes you feel like a failure. There's a YouTuber I know. He does game stuff. I've known him since before he was doing it. He's got close to 1 million, I think, now. And one of his videos ended up not getting spread around because of this whole glitch thing that apparently doesn't exist, but it totally exists. And he went on Facebook and he made a comment about how he was a has-been and how his career was over. And he was venting because he was frustrated. But this is a dude who does games and is well loved, right? Very well loved. And even, YouTube not sending the video out, it messes with people, right? And so that becomes this problem. And it impacts people, And so it's kind of like, you'd be amazed. A lot of us talk to each other. We talk to each other. We try to be supportive for one another because we get it. But I think 2018, the remaining half of 2018, if anything, should be a very big time to discuss these issues. And not for sympathy or for super chats or for Patreon donations or nothing like that, but just to make it known, to make it public, to make it out there, because YouTubers are breaking down en masse, and there's a reason for that, and there's got to be help for that, and we won't be able to get there without understanding from our audiences and words of support. Because the last thing we want is for someone to get so burnt out and so frustrated that they take it out on themselves or, God forbid, other people. So this is some food for thought. Anyway, my name is Matt Jarbo. This has been Russell. This has been a long one, but I think a one worth talking about. And I will talk to you guys later. Have yourself a fantastic day, and peace out.